Hi everybody, this is Sherry, and I just wanted to do a quick card share of a couple cards I made yesterday. This one here, the image is called Cinder Belle, and I used my Copics to color her, and I think she's just absolutely adorable. I love her hair. I love how she's sitting on the pumpkin, how she's still got the one little shoe, just like in the movie. And I glossy accented it to try to make it look a little more like glass. The colors I used, well, first for the base, it's paper tray ink, melonberry cardstock. And then for the two layers here, it's Stampin' Up! It was a pack of the 2011-2013 in colors, and I cut the first one at 4 by 5 1/4, which is this one right here, and then this one I cut at 3 3/4 by 5. Again, the image here is the saturated canary. It's a digital image called Cinder Belle. And then I used my new CC Designs. I'm going to show it to you. It's the teardrop border die. Oh my golly, this thing cut out awesome. There was not one piece left in the die for me to punch out. Every piece that was in here, when I pulled this piece off, stuck, you know, it had like static to the pad, and it stuck to the pad, so there was not one piece in here that I had to punch out. It was awesome. Oh, I was in like heaven. I didn't have to sit and punch out little pieces. So, I mean, it worked great. So, if you've not tried any CC Designs dies, you know, check them out. This one was one that I got for a real good price on their, I believe it was their clearance rack. Or their retiring rack, I'm not sure which. But, their site. But it was amazing. So if you haven't tried their dies, give them a shot. And then I, in the back here, and I'm going to lift it up a little to see if it makes it easier to see. Yeah, you can see it a little better. There are, I embossed the paper with a folder called Pumpkin Harvest. And it's got pumpkins, and then it's got the leaves and the vines. And where it had the leaves and the vines, I used my Stardust Stickles just to give it a little bling. But when I saw this embossing folder, and I've had it for a couple years now, when I saw it, I knew I wanted to do a Cinderella. It's weird because the leaves almost look like holly. I don't know if you can really tell that with the stickles on it, but the leaves to me almost look like holly leaves, but the pumpkins were just perfect, and I just knew that I was going to do a Cinderella card with that one day, and I did. Yay! So this was the first one, and again, this is Cinder Belle is the name of the digital image, and I put glossy accents on her eyes and then on her shoe. So that's the first card I made over the weekend. And then this is the next one. And her name, she's again a saturated canary digital image. And her name is Bubbles. And she had like little bubbles around her. And I didn't want those. So when I cut her out, I just ignored them. I used an A2 size card base, which it's craft paper that I had, and when I went through and cleaned up my scraps pile, anything that was big enough to make a card base out of, I did. And so this was one of them I was able to use. This paper here is the DCWV, the Pumpkin Patch Matte Stack. And then up here in the corner, I used my Lawn Fawn Stitch Leaf die that I got from Jamie's shop, Not Too Shabby on Zibbit. And then I used, Stampin' Up! Dimensionals for her and for Cinder Belle, just to lift them up a little bit. And then I used my iRock and I used the little gems that went with it to put the little gems in the corner. They're orange. You can't really see them too well, but they're orange and they matched the paper. So I went ahead and put those there, and then it's got some foil leafing. I thought it looked really pretty. I tried to match the little rhinestone thingies to the foil, was my attempt. And I collared her skin and hair, and well, actually I collared all of her as well with my Copics. She was collared completely with Copics. So, and I didn't glossy accent her eyes because I don't know, I may do it after I do the video, because when you do them on the video, sometimes, like, see when I lift her right there, she looks kind of freaky. So I wasn't sure whether I was going to do that or not, so I may do it after I finish this video, because I do like the look. It's just when you do it on the video, it looks kind of wonky. But that was the second card I made. And then here's the third card. And this card is a 6x6 card. And she was fun to do. It was an image I already had collared up, and it's actually two images, and I'll show you the other piece of it because I cut it apart. It's another saturated canary image, and it's called Harley and Haley. And the paper she's on right here is Paper Tray Ink Lemon Tart. And the card base was just another of, it was when I had cut out some stuff, there was a piece of a 6x12, and I just folded in half and put it in my card base pile. And so now I have an additional card. I had an additional card base, and that's what I use for my scrap bin. And I just used my white gel pen to put some stitching lines around it, and she was done completely with my Spectrum Noir pens. And I used my Clear Star Jelly Roll to do the little hearts on her stockings and around the bottom of her tutu, and then in the little circles right there. And now I'm also thinking about putting some flowers, the little tiny flowers on her, but I'm gonna mail this, so I don't want anything to break in the mail. And they're like Fimo clay. I mean, they're tiny, but I'm concerned they might break, so I'm not sure that I'm gonna put them on. The flowers here in the corner came from Jamie's Not Too Shabby shop on Zibbit, including the leaves, which this was some of the free stuff that Jamie sent me, and they just worked out perfect. I loved them. They were all bright shades of pink, and there's different shades of pink on her, so it worked out just great. This lace here I put on the side of the image, and I'll zoom you in a little bit so you can see that a little better. It's really pretty. This came from Maggie, who is Margaret White here on YouTube. And I actually got the idea to do this design from Rosanna, and I will put her link below because she did a card share yesterday, and right now I cannot think of her YouTube name. I want to say Zoe, but I can't remember it. I'm sorry, guys. And but I'll put the link below because she had a card done like this, and this is, I thought that looked so pretty. I thought I want to do a card in that style, how she did it. And she had an image here, and she had some lace here, and she had some flowers here. Now hers was like a black and white, but I liked the way it looked put together. And so I'll put her link below so you can see hers as well. I used some bling that I had in my stash, and I took out the centers that were in the flowers because they were kind of orange, and there really wasn't any orange on the thing, and I didn't think I could spray them yellow without affecting the flower, the petal collars. So I just pulled them out and then put some little bling centers in. And this bling here and here is the bling on a roll. And I'll zoom in again and you can see it. It's pink. So it went really well with everything. And I just used 3 little pieces of it. And put 2 here and then 1 down here. Let me pull this up and put 1 down here at the bottom. And then you can see the centers that I used for the flowers. And so that was it. I did 3 cards yesterday. Royce took the teens in our church to an all-day concert deal. So it was me and Mariah, and she kicked back and played and had a good time, and I worked on cards. And this image and the bubbles image I already had colored, so all I had to do was turn them into cards. And then I colored the Cinder Bell image and turned it into a card. So these are the cards that I made, and I had a lot of fun doing them. And as you can tell, I really like the saturated canary images, and they're fun to work with. I like when they're digital because you can make them, you know, any size you want. Oh, I wanted to show you the inside of this one. Okay, I told you it was called Harley and Haley. And here's Haley. Ta-da! There's Harley. She's a cute little piggy with a tutu. So there is the, let me try to hold it without shaking. There you go. And she's on the inside of the card. And I'm gonna try to mail this out to someone this week. So here are my cards. And again, like I said, if you haven't tried the CC Designs dies, give them a shot, because I couldn't believe how incredible they cut and released from the die. It was amazing. And I hope you guys like them. Let me know what you think. Thanks for visiting me today, guys, and happy crafting. Bye.